Hello, 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 family. God bless you, everyone. Please, thank you for being a part of our show today. I am very excited that you are joining another special episode of Senior Talk with Claire Hubbard, your resource and information show for people getting better with age. Let me tell you, I am very excited. Our sister Melanie Durham is going to be joining us shortly, and we're going to be talking about a survivor of breast cancer, a business owner, a woman in ministry. She is doing it all with no excuse. And I'm very proud to say I call her my sister. We are very good colleagues and friends and family from um, church. And let me tell you, it is by no means that we are playing with this thing right now. So Miss Mel Durham is here with us today. I need you to come forward, bring the message. Can you hear me? Can you hear me today?
I hear you. I hear you today. How you doing, Clara?
We are fantastic. We are well. God bless you. So let me tell you, we are living what we call a no excuse life. There are no hiccups in the woman that you are. There are no mistakes on the quality in the spirit of excellence of who you are as a woman. I'm very excited, very, very, very excited to have you with us today. Now, we are having just a small difficulties, but the message is going to be very clear. Melanie Durham is a woman of God, first of all. And so when she comes to our platform, we want you to hear and have maybe even some questions. She is a survivor of breast cancer. She is living what we call no limit, no excuse life. And I'm just happy to have her because let me tell you, we've known each other for a long time. So let's get to the getting serious about this thing. So everyone, welcome to Senior Talk today. Miss Melanie S. Durham. As I said, she is a powerhouse. She is living I am no trace life. We're going to tell you more about that. But let's go to the beginning. Welcome, Melanie, to Senior Talk with Claire Hubbard. How are you this beautiful day?
I am good. I am good. Thank you for having me. Can you hear me?
We can hear you clearly. You're looking good, too. You're looking good, too.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. It is an honor to be on your show. I
Thank
just
you,
want to
dear.
let the people know that how far back we go. Let's
Please do.
really tell the truth and let
Yeah,
people know that we're cousins.
that's right. That's right.
We are cousins.
That's right.
And so, oh my God, it's been an amazing journey. I loved you from when I could understand you,
Yeah.
when I can understand. You've been very influential in my life. I've always seen you as a go-getter, a trendsetter. You know, growing up, always loved coming to Auntie Deborah's and Uncle Nat's house, and I'm gonna see my cousin come through there.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, yeah.
yeah, yeah. So it's an honor to be here. Who would have
Yes, yes,
thought?
yes. Well, let me tell you, I am very excited about. Well, let me start over. Thank you for the words that you shared about me. And also at the same time, I watched you grow. And I know the impact that you've had on those through the congregation, the younger generation that you represent. And so now it's just time to bring it to the forefront. As I was telling people, you know, God's people, it's time for us to come out the walls and get serious about serving. And so
Absolutely.
that's the route that you come from. Let me be very clear. I am working. I am very excited because um, we stand on some tall shoulders.
We do.
This,
We do.
we talking about a history as far back as your dad, that guy. I mean, he was the organist. You know what I'm saying? He was that guy, and the richness that he instilled. And you know, we lost him early, and Lord, do we miss him every day? But there is a platform that we have that we live through the loss. We have
Yes.
a gift that we must keep going. And so
Yes.
that's who you are. So we also now think of, and I say this show is dedicated, and I'll put it in our postings that we are dedicating this show to my girls.
Yes. Yes.
Elder
Yes.
Mosina Durham
Yes. Yes.
and Lottie, her sister. Oh my goodness. I'm telling you, they in heaven gathering everybody together because here we are today. Let me know how they roll. So we're in good shape. We're in good shape. So we just want to make that message clear. So let's talk about Melanie S. Durham, the mother. There's so much we can go back into, a little bit about our church history and all that, but let's talk about you as a mother. I want you also to specifically talk about the geniuses of these two sons that you had. I said, what? This chick is living with millionaires. Look at that. So let's talk about you as a mother. Let's get there because we got some time to share, but let's talk about you as a mother, how that has impacted your life. And then we'll get into some more body of the show.
Okay. Me as a mom, oh Lord have mercy, to two young Black men has been a joy. Has been a joy. I find it to be a privilege that God has chosen me to birth these young men, Jakari and Jeremiah Durham. They are amazing. They're talented. They're anointed. They love God for real. They're entrepreneurs. Jakari just released a jazz single. He plays different genres of music. Yeah. So
where he got that from? Right?
It's in the blood. It's in our blood.
That old Henry Durham coming through, huh?
Yeah. So he just released a jazz tune that's out everywhere. Jeremiah, Jeremiah is just naturally preacher, graphic designer, photographer. He does it all. I'm like, okay, what is it that you don't do yet?
Right.
So, and I say yet because I never know what God is going to give him next. For either one of them, Jakari, he's also producing music as well, making tracks. So God is amazing. I had them at 18 and 19, back to back. And back then it was like, what? Why would you do that? That's that was shunned upon. But I made a choice. I made a choice. I said, okay, this is what happened. God blessed me with them. And God, I need you to be the provider. And God has been the provider every step of the way. Moved them to Iowa and they were thriving. And what you see with them now, it is all God's doing. And it's marvelous in our eyes.
Yes, I know that's right. And I saw Jeremiah and I saw his work. And I mean, when I saw your son's single, I was like, I know these people, and so it's an awesome thing for you to have that gift and know that, like you said, you put them in God's hands. Where else would you go? Let's be clear.
Absolutely.
So now we're talking about you've had Jeremiah and Jakari, and then now we have this great life. We're living in another state, and then we are diagnosed. We pull ourselves back. And I'm sure what I really want you to talk about is how you had your mind to set yourself on the outcome of being a survivor. Some people will get the diagnosis and fall in. You know what I mean? So how did you when you got the diagnosis, how old were you? Because you're young now, you're still a young woman. So how old were you? What were the symptoms? Just give us a few minutes of that timeline in your life.
Okay. So kind of during the summer of 2016, I was feeling alone, but I'm in my mind, okay, it'll go away. Kind of experienced this before and it went away. It was just a cyst. That's all it was. So that's what my mind said. Come around September, it got a little worse where it became just really bulging and all of that. And went to the doctor. He couldn't drain it. And he said, I'm going to send you for a mammogram. And okay, fine. That's fine. And so we did that testing. The doctor said, I need to do a biopsy. And I said, okay, that's fine. One thing I remember about visiting that gynecologist is the nurse. The nurse came back in because now we're going over the weekend. So it was a Friday. The nurse came back in and said, Melanie, whatever happens, God is going to take care of you. And she said, I worked in the oncology department before, and it's not clicking to me at all. It's not
Mhm.
registering to me why she's telling me all of this. We don't even have a diagnosis. I haven't even had the biopsy, but she's telling me she's you. And so we go to the biopsy, and the doctor says to me, she said, if it's normal, I'll call you. If it's abnormal, I'll call you. I said, well, abnormal, what does that mean per se? She wouldn't say.
Mhm.
And I said, wait a minute, when something is abnormal, you're supposed to call some, tell them to come in. Well,
Yes.
I'm at work. I'm at work. I'm a store manager, and I'm at work. It's just me and one associate, and they give me a call. It is like 9 o'clock in the morning on September 30th, 2016. She said, I called to let you know that you do have cancer. And I can't break, like you said, I can't do that because now I look up on the screen and my store is full of people. The first thing I can think of is my sons. What do I say to my sons? How do I tell my sons? So fast forward a little bit. I can't tell you how it happened. A dear friend of mine by the name of Teresa Welch had just became a survivor. Her cancer went into remission. She showed up to my job just to give me a hug. I'm telling you, I don't remember how she got there. And then the next face I saw was my bishop's face, Bishop Ron Woods. He shows up to my job. And this is what became the determining factor. He came to my job, and I knew seeing him what that meant. And I was like, no, don't touch me. I don't want to break down. I got to keep moving.
Yeah.
He asked the question. He said, okay, now that we know, do you want to fight or are we going to plan a funeral? That was a hard question to ask. But it had to be asked in that moment because the atmosphere and the angels needed to hear what my response was concerning what had been said.
Tell the
And I
truth.
said, well, we're going to fight, of course. He said, okay. It was like the atmosphere shifted when I made the determination that we're going to fight.
Mm-hmm.
Because I looked at it, I said, my sons, I'm all that they have. I'm the only parent that they have. I can't leave them. I can't, that was my thought, is that I couldn't leave my sons. Who would take care of them if I
Mm-hmm.
left them? And so that day, that moment is when I decided to fight and say I was going to fight, that I became a survivor. I walked through the process. Yes, it was scary. I was still somewhat in denial. They went to
Mm-hmm.
tell me what stage I was in. And I was like, are we serious? I really do have cancer.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
couldn't, yeah, I couldn't believe it. And they're like, yes, you do. Yes, you do. It was in that moment that I wept at the doctor's office. But it did not break me to say, I'm going to give up.
Let me tell you this. We're gonna hold on for a second. I
Mm-hmm.
can tell you, and this is people, some people don't know about my story. I had emergency surgery back in 2014. And the first thing they said was that it could be cancer. And but as you said, there was a nurse. There was an African sister
Mm-hmm.
came in the room and looked me in my face and said, "Oh, you just got to get through this so you can do your work." Just like that. Now,
Mm-hmm.
other things happen. Like I said, we had to go through procedures and medicine and all that. But when she said that, even the day of the surgery, when we were all derobing and giving our belongings to our loved one, that woman, I mean, the Spirit of God went through the whole row of people. It's like six of us. And she said, "Oh, do y'all feel it?" And she came straight to me. She said, this woman right here has a mission. And God is going to bless all of your surgeries to be successful.
Wow.
And I just grabbed myself and I was good. No panic, no fear. I went in, came out. But the point is, there is a spirit in you because you have to come and tell it in its face. We're going to do this thing, So now let's talk because we can go there now. We can go there, man. We may have to have go back. This is Wednesday's Bible study time. We can go there. So let's talk about this. So let's talk about the team No Trace. Tell us about that team because it's a big thing. That is your campaign now. I am No Trace. Tell us about that team No Trace. What does that mean? How did it feel? The support factors, all that good stuff.
Team No Trace started as a spoken prophetic word that was sent to me. That was said to me in service. Now, going through the journey, everybody that is surrounding me is very close to me. Why? Because they're family. They're not just my church family, but they're actually blood families. So we're going through, and I kept working in church, and I was forgetting I had cancer too, because you couldn't stop me from
doing that thing. Service is service, baby. We in it. Hook and crook. Not hook and crook, but we're in it. We're in it to serve. So there's no hiccups about it. So how did you proceed to tell your friends around you? What was that look of understanding to people that you were around every day? So, okay, we got a little small delay, but we're going to come back to it. So as I was asking Melanie, her organization or her group is called Team No Trace. And this is comprised of a group of, how do you say it? A group of people who came to her aid and stepped in for her and said, hey, we want to be in partnership with your survival. We're here to work with you. And so I just think she's a dynamic woman. We got to send a special thank you to everyone that is tuning in. This is actually a Senior Talk special edition of our program. And our special guest is Melanie S. Durham. She's a breast cancer survivor. Her organization is called No Trace. And she'll tell you more about it when she returns with us. But we know there are many, many people across the country who are diagnosed. And as my sister Tasha Joyner would say, in her group, the Tasha Joyner Foundation, every day is October for some woman or man. Men also get breast cancer. Let's be very clear. We're sending a special shout out also to our friends from Equal Hope. Equal Hope is a new community, previously the Metro Area Breast Cancer Task Force. And our sister Dana Devine, along with Donna Lynn Schaefer, they boots on the ground. Those are my friends and girls, and they are bringing resources. They also provide, let me be very clear, an opportunity for you to get a free mammogram at no cost. I say it again, free mammograms at no cost to women of color. So you would want to participate. You would want to be a part of the process. If it is not for you, please pass it on. A lot of the program that we do here on Senior Talk, oh, that ain't me. Well, somebody can use information. We want to be of service to you. So we're asking you to please support this cause. Breast cancer, early detection is key. There are many people who are in denial, as Melanie mentioned, but you need to check it out. Learn how to test yourselves. And if you need that expertise, we can actually have you call our Senior Talk office, which is now in our program here. You can call 312-428-6919. Again, that's 312-428-6919 is our radio phone answering line. And we will be glad to give you information. If you need any information to your community through what you hear on Senior Talk, we'll be glad to provide it for you. That's what we do. So we will get you the information, but we also want you to know that you don't have to be alone. Many of our platforms are in place to be of service to the community. So we want everyone to rock and roll with that. So joining us back now, she's back with us. That was a station break. And I'll see you talking. I approved all the things I said. But nothing like a little hiccup. We back in order. We back in order. It's all right. So
Yes.
let's talk about the team note. All right.
So Team No Trace, again, prophetic words spoken, sitting in service, and Bishop is preaching. You know, a lot of times preachers, pastors, when God say stuff, you know, they're a little afraid to say it. They're like, "Are you really serious, God?" And he called me up and he said, "Mel," he said, "God said there is no trace of cancer in your body." I said, you know, I'm rejoicing, but I'm a little nervous too, because it's like, okay. But that thing sat in my spirit. It sat in my spirit, and I said, okay, God, no trace. So we start plastering it everywhere. And God said, make shirts. I had shirts made prior to me having surgery. And when the doctors came out after the day I had surgery, and they went to my mother, and they told her, they said, we found no trace of cancer in her body. And so from there is how No Trace began. It's how No Trace began. And I had just been building and obeying what God is saying. I did Race for the Cure. God said, Team No Trace. I said, okay, all right. So I just been walking by faith on this thing. And here we are 3 years later. And where I say that I am No Trace. And it's expanded. It's beyond cancer. I am no trace of my past. I am no trace of this disease. I am no trace of low self-esteem. I am no trace of financial losses. I'm none of that. I'm none of that. You can go back and you can look, and you're not going to find a trace of it. And when they do that, I remember when, there's no trace of it. Hello.
Well, let's go here. Yeah. Okay. Let me say, the doors of the church are open. Whosoever will, come and get this. Let's be clear. You just put the word out there. You know what? Real talk. We're gonna close out because we got about a couple of more minutes, and we're gonna revisit it because must. But this is also, let me be clear, it is also Clergy Appreciation Month. October. So let's talk about this baton that was put in your hand, girl. I was like, you and your son, am I talking December 2018? And you're both ordained? Is y'all serious? Tell us about that day. Tell us about that moment. You were with your son. You know what I'm saying? How does that feel? How was that baton, from elder? She, let's be clear. How was that baton put into your hand, and that you're carrying this mantle of excellence in service? How do you feel about that? And being a leader now, a visible leader to a congregation. How do you feel about that?
It's terrifying. Let me say that. It's terrifying, because anybody say, oh, it's great. Oh, no, you don't know Jesus. It's terrifying, but it's humbling. It's humbling to be chosen to serve. Yes, December 28th, 2018 is a day I will never forget.
Yes, ma'am.
Having my son, watching him grow up in the ministry and then being ordained elder, I was kind of nervous about it at first, because I'm like, he's young and everything. And it was my time as well to be elevated, because I did not know the magnitude of work that was next for me in the ministry. To be chosen by God is very humbling. To be in the front with people, to serve first of all as a elect pastor. I thank God for the opportunity, and now to serve as the executive pastor at Prevailing Church Chicago is humbling. It is exciting, but after you get through the terrifying part, I serve with a great group of people. I serve a great group of people. I serve under a great bishop. And so I just thank God, because it's all God. At that moment, at the ceremony, it's that I felt the mantle of my grandfather and my father collide and come together. I saw the heavens responding, and setting approval. Um, so that day I stood under a heavy mantle and I stood under an open heaven, and to have my son right there next to
Mm.
me, that right there is a feeling that I cannot explain. It's overjoyed
Absolutely.
when mom and son can be ordained together, you know.
Tell the truth. Tell the truth. So, what is next for Melanie S. Durham? Not so much into the ministry, but what's next for you personally in your life? Is there anything that we can do as a community to support your next efforts? I know I Am No Trace is moving, but what's next for you? What are the things that you're looking to? How are you gonna break down 2021?
Well, I plan on breaking down 2021 with being more out there in the community. I want Rona to
Yeah,
sit down somewhere so I can get out there. Because even being a survivor, I have to be careful myself still.
yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah.
but I want Rona to sit down somewhere so I can get out there more so in the community. I would love to volunteer on the floors of oncology and to not
Mm,
only sit with breast cancer patients, but cancer patients, period.
mm-hmm.
Because I didn't just encounter breast cancer patients. What people didn't know is that in my journey of going to treatments, I encountered people with leukemia. I've encountered people with lung cancer, throat cancer. So it's more than about breast cancer. Breast cancer is personal because as a woman,
Mm-hmm.
we deal with us. Um,
Right, right.
but I want to get out there and make more of an awareness, especially to young women of African American culture. Um, I was 34 when I was diagnosed. I will now soon be 39. And being 34, not knowing that it was a history, that it was a family history, I didn't know that. So I didn't know what to look for. I didn't know what to look for. I wasn't made aware. And I would advise every woman to please go get your mammogram. If you've been diagnosed with the BRCA1 gene mutation or BRCA2, please take your daughters. Take your
Mm-hmm.
daughters. And guess what? They will examine them early when they know that another woman in the family has been tested positive for that.
Great point. Yes, ma'am. Great point. Yes, yes.
Yes.
So we are got a few more moments, and
Okay.
you've already broken it down. But what would you tell? How do you give thanks to your brothers and sisters? Because you got some serious family members. Your direct family. Let me tell you, mother, and happy birthday to the beautiful Sarah Durham, turned
Happy
55 and
birthday,
cute.
Mom.
Businesswoman. She's a boss. We're gonna have her on in November. But how do you thank your family members? Because I know them all. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
how would you give them a public thank you at this time? Close us out with that.
Okay. To my family, to my mom, number one, I want to say thank you. I thank you for your love. I thank you for your support. I thank you for your prayers. I can only imagine how scary it was for you for me to call you and tell you that I have been diagnosed with cancer. But I thank you that you knew what to do, and that's go before
Mm-hmm.
the throne of grace. I thank you for that. I
Yeah.
thank, I honor God for my Aunt Lottie and my grandmother, Pastor Mosina Durham, because
Mm-hmm.
I called them and they began to pray.
That's what they
And
do.
so that's what they do. I honor the Lord for them. To my siblings, Robert, Henry, Mosina, Nadia, Michael, and little Carlos, and my god sister Shakira, I want to say thank you. Thank you for riding this journey out with me. Thank you for your love and your support. Thank you for showing up deep at the hospital that y'all made everybody nervous. But that's what family do. Thank you for that.
Yeah,
Thank
yeah.
you. Thank you for praying, and thank you for even if it was just for that moment. Thank you for coming together and being unified to show people, wait a minute, we fight with her. She's not going to fight alone.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah. And if I can take a moment, I want to just thank my spiritual parents, Bishop and Lady Mike Woods, for their continued support. They were in Iowa all the time. My big sis, Matoya, was there. She was my caregiver, took me to appointments, and they're my family as well. And I want to say thank you. Thank you for being there with me. Thank you for seeing the things that other people didn't see, the gruesome stuff that people didn't see, the ugly side of things. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Well, let me tell you, it's by no coincidence or hiccup that we get to live. I want to call you living a no limit life. You know what I mean? And so I just honor God for just who you are, real talk. And I saw you go through it, and I would say I was almost as stunned, knowing your spiritual background and just who you were. But I knew, I'm be honest with you, I'm like the bishop. I knew there was a no trace too, because certain things just, if you don't have God centered and can go to Him,
yes,
you know, this COVID process we live in, who would have ever expected it? But if we didn't have the hand of God, we would be lost souls. Let's be very clear. So we're going to close out our program, but we're going to take the information. If there's a website where you want to share with the No Trace, you're going to send it to me via email. We're going to get it out to our community. I want this to be nationwide prophetic word, as you said, no trace. The no trace can go in several ways. Like you said, no trace of your past, no trace of your disability, no trace of your behaviors from the past, no trace of what did you mean? I live a non-negotiable life. What are you talking about? You know, that's how I talk to people. And I mean that thing, because the work that we have to do, it is no joke. And if you got that assignment on you and you know it and you accepted it, I know and I feel it too, because I miss my dad and, you know, Deborah and even my own mother who is not with us, you know, but we still can. And we have to represent them everywhere we go. That's why she can say my name is Melanie S. Durham, because there's some respect on that name. There's a level of expectancy when you come in a room, you know what I mean? And people need to be prepared for that. So I'm going to say, in complete darkness, we are all the same. It is only our knowledge and wisdom that separate us. Please don't let your eyes deceive you. I'm sharing this picture. I hope that will come up after our show of our beloved. And we want everyone to please, if you want more information, I am the quote unquote, I am the PR person for No Trace. How about that?
So, all right. I need a PR. I do.
So we're going to get the word out. And let me tell you, we are not playing with this life we are living. So God bless you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, my beloved. And we want everyone to stay tuned for more great stuff with Senior Talk. But if you want more information, Melanie, she can speak. She can do a Zoom consultation. No Trace can come to your community room wherever you are. We got Zoom.
Absolutely.
We got Facebook Live. If you need someone to pray with you, be very clear.
Absolutely.
Let's get it done here. Let's make this the tool right now, because now is the time for prayer as anything. You got to stay in prayer. So everyone, thank you for your time. Thank you for making us a part of your day. And let me tell you all that you've been tuning in to Senior Talk with Claire Hubbard, your resource and information show for people getting better with age. Everyone, God bless you. Thank you for your time. I'm going to put up my little tagline. Here you go. Check me out, Mel. I'm doing it, girl.
Let's see.
I'm waiting for it to see. Hurry up. All right, we're going to work it out. This is going to come. But God bless you all, and we will look forward to you joining us again. If you want more information on how your show, product, or service can directly benefit our viewing audience, please go to seniortalkmedia.com. Take care, everyone. Slow today. All right, Mel, we're going to end this thing right here.
Okay.
God bless you. Talk to you soon.
All right, talk to you soon. Thank you.
All right.